I'm back. Welcome back to part 2. What is this? Oh gosh, we just left with the snake. Okay, so the angels of love and light are continued with their presence, along with our ancestors, our higher selves of light and love. We're doing the Co-Creation Code deck by Rowena Patti Kreider. This is maybe the third time maybe I've worked with this, but I believe in her stuff, and I really enjoy figuring out the systems, and I just took a break from it because I'm not gonna cover that here, but definitely I wanted to regroup, especially with it being the first full moon, the wolf moon in Cancer. And let me see here. That's funny. Okay, so 44, master number 44. I forget which one that is. I'll list it. I should know by now, but we're gonna look at this. Nurturing generates. Okay. Harmonic 76.8. Okay. So this is an opportunity for healing. Which forces us to ground. There might be some point of being ostracized, or even pulling that motion within self. I mean, it depends on how fine-tuned you are within your environment and what your willingness is to adopt this new system of gestures that shows the world not just your authenticity, but also holding integrity within that light. We have the solar plexus, sacral chakra magnified here. The Kundalini wants to rise. So let me see here. Nurturing generates. And in the last reading, we kind of generalized the divine feminine in motion. Yeah. Okay, so nurturing generates. Okay. So I forget how this goes, so I have to just get back into this. So 44, let's see here. So EB is gold in C. Gold in magenta or infrared. Okay, create codes. EB. Create flow in the key of creating codes. Okay. Codes are fire. Flows are water. Oh, okay. So there's sense of mutability in here. Okay, we're going to figure this out together. As I told you, I haven't done this one in a long while. EV. Okay, key of C. Okay, so key of C. Where are you, EV? Is that a typo? Hold on. Okay. Key of EB is galaxy, creating flow. Here's the spiraling generator, a creator of energy. Spirals and vortexes tend to generate flow of energy. The color is gold. It is interesting to notice that the archetype that falls between DB and EB is D. Okay, correlated with culture, and culture is opposite of the human on the wheel of archetypes. See the wheel on the next page to see how the archetypes relate to their functions. Okay, you'd have to really zoom in on this because it's not going to allow it based on the quality of the screen. Yeah. Okay, so key of C is cells, create codes. In terms of energy forms, I take C and magenta as source. Magenta fuses the ultraviolet and infrared ends of the visible spectrum. Other sources we know are seeds, DNA, the code of something to be, and I present this archetype as a point. Okay. So the origination point of growth. Okay. And frequency. Okay. So acting as a generator within that initial life force, that like bursting into something new. So acting as a generator to like a cell. The creation, the force, the flow, the motion. That's yeah. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, like we're creating galaxies as we recreate, like encode our DNA. That's what it's saying. Okay. Just scanning here. 19.2, 34.4, 76.8, 185, A, B, and C. Okay. I'm going to cover what I can intuitively cover in here. So let's just jump to 44. Okay. Okay. Nagas. Am I saying that properly? Okay. You are entering a time of invincible spirit that manifests through your heart. The Nagas are imaginal beings of spiritual substance that dwell in the subtle waters of generation. As you recognize that you really need to fulfill your soul purpose, you will release all redundant thoughts and all unnecessary desires. Yeah. Then you can recognize you need to fulfill. Yeah, I feel like that's the time that I've taken off. I know it's been only a bit of time, like a week span or so. That there's like an organic process of elimination on what's truly important. It's prioritization, not in the mechanics of like, hey, I need to fulfill this agenda and this is how to make it happen. It's not in that like functional, like robotic form of schematics when it comes to project management within the realm of like varying hierarchies, both like publicized and hidden when it comes to like in-office events, whatever transpires there. This is something that comes in organically and allowing the respect for it. So it's fulfilling temperance within the ratios of where we invest. And when you put in the work, because I've been just like doing stuff, and other other things called for my attention, like just seeing that, having to switch gears and seeing the alignment of the common thread, it's like all else falls away. It's easier to make decisions, like refuse energies, build boundaries, once truly balance is created, and it's not so like finite as to certain angles of your identity that you can currently see. There's so much more to life than what you put on the agenda or put on calendar. Okay, so let's read on this. Redundant thoughts and all unnecessary desires fall away. Then you can create a flowing current that will wash obscurations out of your system and bring you into the flux of all possibilities. Definitely, like creative problem solving is much more like snappy, like instantaneous. It's like you become so much more resourceful. Yeah. Okay, so tune in to what your soul wants you to do, and the Nagas will help you. Dancing and swimming are good for you now. Move freely until it becomes clear how you can generate flow in other areas of your life also. This flow includes money as well as health. Okay, give me a second here. I need to comprehend this part. Dancing and swimming, okay. Yeah, okay. Generate movement. Okay. I think sometimes, I think some can relate to this, especially if you're pursuing your passions, your dreams, or something that is not as recognized as substantial to being considered civil or contributing to civilization within its most primary immediate gratification form, like a week-to-week or bi-weekly paycheck or whatever source that signifies to common culture as it stands as responsibly equipped and adept in serving this world. So, and showing up for yourself, and however that way that's interpreted. So, those would understand that it's important to become resourceful, and there's so much more value added within that subset culture. And so, if we're merging or moving from one world of being and thinking to another, there's that part where it's not just confusing, but you experience inner conflict because there's a lot of I would say apprehension. Let's say for me, I'm just going to be clear cut. Let's just be straight up honest. That is hard to look at the bills. It's hard to log into several bank accounts of debt that are incurred. And so I end up becoming late on payments because of the hostilities presented at home. I don't know if or when or how I can approach certain costs and certain things that normally wouldn't be a problem if I just gave in and sold out and transacted my body over to somebody who felt entitled. Regardless if I was making more or if we were making equivalent amounts of money. So, that way of life is absolutely over with. And it's funny because I didn't really understand it to be so until I started stepping away from it. And so when it comes to PTSD, when it comes to approaching finances, there might be some stagnancy, and I would say that, being totally honest, it's important to face those checkpoints. We're not going to call them obstacles because we don't need to label them as such. We're not going to buy into that mentality, that proposal that says, oh, you're misbehaving because you disagree with me. So, ... So now, when it comes to the flow, we're moving organically with what we need to take accountability for. And regardless of what amounts we see, we're just going to make sense out of it, and we're just going to get through it. Yeah. We're not going to do the dirty work for them. Okay. So once you trust in showing up for yourself, and believing in self over the fear that's proposed, you'll get much farther than And I think the universe is just listening to your frequency and how you respond to those threats, to what the universe sees as empty threats. Because there is no way that if I were just to like single myself out and just case study myself, there's no way that the universe is going to let me just like crumple away and waste all of my all of the gifts that were handed to me and that are currently being supported beyond the veil and beyond timelines. There's no way that they would allow that to happen. No, that they wouldn't. Okay. This flow includes money as well as health. Okay. As you truly nurture yourself, you will come into great abundance, which will benefit those around you as well as yourself. Believe in yourself. I didn't even read that part until, like, I swear, I don't do any speed reading. I don't do any of that. I'm just, like, comprehending line by line before I move on so that I capture and I understand. Like, I'm learning as I go. So, that's very interesting. Yeah, that's the universe is just wondering if you're listening, if you're picking up on what they're dropping. And yeah, that's really all that it is. Okay, so 44, we're there. Okay, and then we're in cells. Okay, no, we are in 44 necklace. Okay, co-creation code deck. Okay. We were in... Oops, I forgot to put that one out. It was from before. Crystal grids. Is there anything else here? 63, 44, EB 76.8. There's something more to this. What am I... Okay, let me see here. Numbers of the co-creation code deck. We're at 44. Okay. But there's more to it than this. Key EB, or EB and key of C. So this one is 76.8. Ooh, I have to read a bunch of this stuff. Okay. I'll learn more on this, but I feel like that was definitely of value. So 44 falls in the 6th octave. It reveals imaginal and elemental beings such as dragons and fairies. Oh, so we're working with elementals here. That's interesting. Oh, that's so cool because the thing that I made for the full moon involved Fae protection, a Fae guardian, and earthly elements, of course. Okay, so when we're looking at this, in key of C, there's something more to it. Let me just venture. So I feel like this is cellular restructuring through just general movement. That there's a mirroring. And what the universe. Yeah, I feel like it. Galaxy and cells of so okay. I feel like there's more to this, so just give me a second. Okay, 44. Okay, cells. I feel like cells 76.8. Cells. This is very interesting. 44. E being key of C. Harmonic of 76.8. 76.8. Activate. Potentiate. Okay, so it's in key of C. Sorry, give me a second. I'm just trying to understand how this works. So it's E, B, in key of C. Where are you here? Galaxy creating flow. And then cells. Cells. Key of C, cells. Potentiate. 1. Work now with awareness of your small inner feelings and voice, for these are tender, real possibilities. Do not dismiss them because they are small, but realize that all codes are precise, invisible information. They are not material. They are a pattern. Behold how your consciousness is a key for unlocking doors to new creations in the outer world. But cease being attached to what you manifest. Let manifestations happen, but focus on the programs, the codes that are keys to new forms. You can reorder your life by insight into how consciousness precedes matter. Potential is the power to create by design. Yeah, I feel like that's what we were talking about. Key of C and cells. Chromosomes and nucleus, creating codes. Prime source creates codes which are inherent in the chromosomes, the carriers of genes. Cells are prime code creators in the whole of life, and DNA is a main nucleic acid in cell's nucleus. It is a code that gives instructions on how tissue and organs are to form. Yeah, it's restructuring. I think that's what we talked about, yeah? Okay, so if we were to look at KFC, okay, there's cells, and then the other one was, I think, galaxy. Okay, creating flow. I feel like there's something else here, so just come on a second. Galaxies, EB, key of EB. Okay. galaxy generation spreads. You are in a phase of creating a new life cycle. This is a state of powerful creativity. The energy running through you needs expression. So paint, sing, dance, and write poetry. You might create a new program, design a garden, or invent something. As you allow the eternal light to flow through you, there will be abundance generated for all those who are close to you as well. Oh, I like it. Put no limits on summoning the greatest forces within you, for you now can go forth and initiate a new plan. Being sensitive makes you receptive to others. There is a necessary counterforce to your whirling energy. Cease being thrown off your rotational axis by others' ideas and actions. It is time for you to create your own business, group, or family so that your sole purpose has a basis from the source within you. When you tap into your own core and allow energy to build and then pour forth your love, others will show up to assist and be part of the flow. We just did a pre-reading on it. I love it. Your new life includes shedding envelopes of the outworn, just as a galaxy sheds envelopes of planetary nebula. Galaxies create flow for the whole universe and continuously recycle their matter. Each new round of generation creates stars with more heavy elements than the preceding generation had. Now think of a number between 1 and 12 and read the appropriate following page. I feel like 11, because that's when we posted the original one, but then it swapped over to 1101. Yeah. Okay, so we'll read 11. Okay, be still. Okay. At times you may wonder how you are connected to anything. This is but a traumatized memory. You are connected to everything, and you can find the deepest relationships in the stillness of space. Go within and feel your oneness with all of life. Go for a walk in nature, observe the sky, and see how even emptiness is full of connection. The relationship of star to star reverberates within your own soul. The connection with someone you may be wondering about is truly present. Sometimes silence is the best way to find out how interconnected you are. Key B of B, or B flat, is that what that means? I don't know. Okay, grids of space. Maintain connection. The geometry of space is not how much energy or matter it is, but how it is interconnected. Yet the curvature of space is determined by the amount of matter within it. What is matter but interconnected energy spun up into balls of energy? How much energy? I think I need to read that a little bit. Like, I'm trying to visualize it. The geometry of space is not how much energy or matter it is, but how it is interconnected. Okay, so the shape of it, or the make of it, is based on the interconnectedness, not the quantity. Okay. All right, so yet the curvature of space is determined by the amount of matter within it. Okay, so the physical schematics of it is based on the volume. That's what I'm understanding. What is matter but interconnected energy spun up into balls of energy? Okay. Okay, I'll have to so, I'm like transitioning between here and there, so it's I'm a little distracted. But that's what we've got over here. That closes out the item for the day. Let's see if there's any additional messages through bananagrams. What fell on there is H. Okay, AYAWSERTEIPSQWDDZM. Okay. I see. Hear, see, speak, say, do, ties, spies, I feel like speak is, I don't know, because we're looking at movement here, like, the flow, right? So, speak is, I feel like a vibration, a frequency in motion. It's manifestation by claiming. That understanding that there's source, there's sentience beyond you. So when you speak out something into existence, it's not. It's also to be heard. It's meant to be heard, meant to be received by another sentient form. So the acknowledgement of the connectivity between self and the exterior, other sentient life. That cognition to kind of digest in form is what we're looking at here, the flow. Trusting in the flow of our vibration to reach another. I see yes here, and I see water. I see water. So yeah, water and flow. Okay. I'm gonna put this here. E-R. Okay. There's also share. Wish. Let me double check here. Okay. Oh my gosh, I think I see my boss's name here. My previous boss, anyway. Oh my gosh, my boss's name oh my gosh. That's crazy. He's really into this stuff. That's crazy. Let me just I want to see if it's really here, because like the letters are shown out. That is crazy. Like, that is crazy. Like, it would be so much easier to get the first name, but the last name? What? This is crazy. Okay. That is crazy. Okay. Time to focus here. Mars? What? So as far as astrology is involved, something to look into as far as what Mars is supposed to teach us. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That's hilarious. Okay. Moving on. Mod. So, modifications, short for that, being efficient with the changes, the enhancements, the upgrades. So I have 4 consonants here left. I'll feel trapped. Okay. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. So I have DI for die, like a pair of dice. No, a single die. A single dice is a die. So, why did we get that? Why would we get a single dice? It was sharing the I with the wish. So maybe it has something to do with gambling. Like, this transition isn't all about like foregoing something completely, but moderating. Moderating the flow of the transition. So, like, put some logic into that. It's not like, but, like, okay, if it has something to do with, like, gambling or something, it's like, taking chances, make sure that they're calculated in a way where you are doing half the work, which is like, okay, so part of it is speaking because it's out into existence, like reverberating those intentions, but also making calculated risk where it's in alignment with your true objective. Yeah, that's what it's saying. Okay, so we have 3 consonants left. What else here? There's 3 left. Like, what am I gonna do with it? What are you gonna do? Questions. Y. Oh, okay. I get it now. All right. So it's Q, Y, and Z left here. Okay. So question. Let me just show you. Okay. Okay. So we'll still have to ask some questions, right? We'll still have some questions. And we can still, how do I say it? May find some intrigue. We may still be asking why, even if our questions are answered. We may not find 100% satisfaction, and that's why it takes some sleep to be able to be in flow and kind of lay things to rest when it comes to our personal satisfaction. Because the world functions not based on our how do I say it? Our personal checkpoints. How do I say it? I don't know what to say about that. Personally, I'm a little irritated that there's some distraction here. But yeah, sometimes you got to give things a rest. And this is also going in sequence to allowing things to organically unfold. So although we may be provided with answers earlier on in our life, oh, I see what they meant, or oh, I see how that clicks. A lot of that can be achieved in hindsight, and it doesn't ultimately mean that hindsight is way beyond what we're imagining, but just to give it some time. That's what it's saying. I'm just reading what I'm reading here, and that's what it's saying. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. And I don't know if I would call this 100% a reading, because it's not really a fortune. It's just talking about patterns. It's just basically a common lecture, that you would, it just feels like a classroom vibe, not really a fortune. I don't know. I guess when you're sharing stuff with others and being open, especially within the learning process, that portals are open with the engagement of receptivity, right? Active receptivity. All right. So being that, thank you to my sponsors, my supporters, and every which way you do that in love and light. Now that this reading, this sharing opportunity is in this learning process anyway, is now complete. Thus far, I close all portals that have been opened. Close them all out. Sending the energies back with their appropriate karma. In love and light. See you again later. Bye.